Wondrous SoFi Stadium here in Inglewood. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the New England Patriots and the Los Angeles Chargers. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. This defense for the Pats, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Olszewski going to hold on to this one. Touchback. They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damian Harris. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
And that's a run characteristic of Damian Harris. When he touches it, he gets not what's just blocked, but he gets a few more yards as well. He's been dinged up his first 2 years with the Patriots, only 10 starts a year ago. But you have to believe that this coaching staff thinks that he's capable of bigger and better things.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now Jones. The pass to Henry is intercepted. Picked off by the rookie Asante Samuel. And the Chargers are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. But those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On third down, here's Eckler. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. And they gave themselves options there on the third down play, and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
Now room for Eckler. And he'll be out of bounds. 51 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Eckler. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. No gain on the play, and it's going to be second and goal. Trying to punch it in with Eckler. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Austin Eckler, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Chargers have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. And it's now 14-0. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Gunnar Olszewski bringing it out. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Jones hit in the ball zone and picked up by the Chargers. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, LA. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. Olszewski going to hold on to this one. Touchback. The Pats at the line, ready to go.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Throwing, Jones. That's complete into the hands of Myers. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The completion there by Mac Jones. And Charles, what do you think this defense needs to do to slow down this young rookie from Alabama?
Well, as usual with a rookie, pass rush is big. Put some pressure on him and see if he can handle things in the pocket. But the other one is your defensive backs, linebackers who are covering people, they need to be on the spot because he's extremely accurate with the ball. He doesn't miss very many throws downfield, puts it right on his receivers. You have to be there to stop them at the point of the catch.
They'll try the right side with Harris. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't Never pursue and let a guy get a cutback land on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle, right? And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. It's brought in by Harris. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. So still 14 yards to go. 2nd down. Looking to throw. Jones. He sets to fire deep. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Josh Jones. And the Chargers are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Here's 2nd and 10. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack. Christian Barmore in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. On is the punter long here as he sends this one away. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Patriots take over. The Pats at the line ready to go. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. 2nd and 10. To throw again. Jones. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
A run there on 1st down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. So, Charles, you talk about this offense in this Week 8 of the 2021 campaign. Now, normally this would be the halfway point of the season, but as we all know, this now a 17-game regular season. Because of that, seems like now maybe more than ever, getting your open week to occur later in the season, that could be a pretty big advantage.
Brandon, it's always been a big advantage, and now, as you pointed out, the possibility of it becoming huge, likely. Most teams want that later open date because of injuries, you know, getting that rest before the playoff push, all of those things. Sometimes when you get an open date early in the season, it's not very much of an advantage. You might be playing well, not slows down your momentum. This is a big deal, and teams definitely like it. The later, the better.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Now Jones throwing on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. The Charger drive about to get going. And they enter play here in this one on a 2-game win streak, plus they come off the open week as well. So this is a team that has a lot of things working in their favor.
Oh, it certainly is, and let's face it, this team is playing so well. The worry now is that after a few extra days off, they'll be sluggish coming into this game. So I've heard that they spent more time in practice working what they call good versus good, starting offense versus starting defense. They want a fast start in this next game.
A nice little juke. Fighting through it. He's got space. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. The 71 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A big play there for the Patriots. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. That's swung out wide to Harris. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40 and down to the 28-yard line. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And a dangerous throw there on the drop-off. Incomplete, nearly intercepted.
You could tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Work now for Jones and the Patriots here after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Henry's got it out on the left side. The Patriots will take their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on 4th down. Looking to throw. Jones. Open man is Asiasi, the tight end. And they'll get this down to the 10.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. Throwing on 2nd down. Jones. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Josh Jones. And the Chargers are going to take over at their own 41. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ballgame.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
So we are at halftime here on Halloween as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports halftime report. Coach? All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Patriots trailing here, but they will have the football first as the third quarter is underway. Olszewski now from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Jones. He's going to let it go again. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Jones now on 3rd down. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. They started on the ground with Eckler. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 91 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Herbert now. That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big gain that time for the Chargers. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the 3rd quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots, They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now.
Dustin Hopkins.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Olszewski now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled it to 20. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Here's Jones from the gun on 3rd down. Trying to lay one up deep. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Hopkins with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
Olszewski now from his end zone.
And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Michael Davis. And he brings this one back. It's up.
Salute when you see me. That jealousy is an ocean, and you either float or you sink. Moment of truth, credit tip. You not a fool, BB King. I'm in love with the blues. Don't start me up, I got finishing moves. Look, salute when you see me. Slid through all the commotion, it's breaking news. They got an ad on TV. Popping out on them on politics, and probably in a section where you not permitted. My honey's matching my Dodger fitted, playing all go, ain't no stopping in it. Look, salute when you see me. I bought her a CC and that was her purse. Disgusting with do for a purse. Disgusting with do for the clout.